Good afternoon. So today's class, it's going to be Leadership 1. It's a very short review of, I can say it's like a 3-in-1 course, where it's a little bit of emotional, healthy, spiritual, the class that you took last year. It has a little bit of that in here, or that you can apply to this class. So this course, it's gonna be it's a lot of interacting, but I know that it's impossible. There's no classmates, which I would have loved to have a lot of dynamics. So what I am gonna require, they're gonna be uh, I'm gonna ask them to send you or I'll be sending you this. Let me see, let me take the blur this test, and it's the test of the temperaments. So you're gonna go ahead and do it, and you're gonna find out what temperament are you. Sometimes, I don't know if you've done it before. Usually, I know that in college they give something similar to see what area you would be best working. But this is very different. So we're going to talk about our temperament. We're going to talk about leadership. What is the importance of being a leader? Um, we do recommend, but it's optional. Before it wasn't an option, now it is. This book, I really recommend this book, Develop a Leader Within You. A lot of the information that you found in your workbook, Leadership 1, Leadership 2, comes from this book. It's a really good book. I personally use it for my work, in everything, and of course, ministry. And Personality Plus, this is today's class. It's very short. All of it comes from this book. And it's not that big either, and I do recommend it. The Florence Literature, she's also the author of his book. She's a Christian, so it's wonderful. You'll find good resources, and this can help you in your relationships overall. So today, why is it so important to speak about the temperament? It's very important because we are always speaking to people. We are always socializing everywhere we go. And sometimes, we can put a smile, but we don't really know what's down there. We talked about that on our previous course. But within this class, it's more than that. It's more than having to see, okay, why do I feel like this person doesn't like me? Or why is this person so difficult to work with? It's sometimes it's not that they're difficult, it's just that their temperament, they were born, because the temperament, you were born with it. And that temperament, you would see the definition here. The temperament, the personality is the temperament. So I don't know if you're understanding me here. Temperament consists of the personality and the character of the person. So it's there. It's something that we cannot change. However, we can modify it. And when we know our temperament, um, I say that everybody has highs and lows. When we know those areas that we need to work in, we can actually, you know, better them for our own good, for our family, and like I said, for our relationships. So that you can go ahead and read the definition right there. Temperament is the individual quality and intensity of the emotional affections and the dominant structure of humor and motivation. It is the natural way in which a human being interacts with the environment. So that's temperament. So right here, as you turn the pages, you might be asking yourself, okay, what's all this? If you haven't heard about it, choleric, sanguine, phlegmatic. What is all this? Those are the temperaments. And usually we have two temperaments. One that it's more than the other. And sometimes usually get whenever they do like the test, the scores are usually like this. But this will help us to find our strength and to find our weakness. Again, this is not to only focus like, oh, I'm choleric. Oh my goodness. Look at all those weaknesses. I'm bossy. I'm impatient. I don't show empathy for others. Those are the weakness for choleric. And then you see the strength. Oh, wow. I'm an organized team worker. I was born leader. I'm not easily discouraged. I'm very independent. Wow, that's really good. And which is really good. However, when you meet someone that's phlegmatic, it's totally the opposite. Totally the opposite. Phlegmatic people are people that need to get encouraged. You need to push them a little bit more to do the things. Whenever they don't like to be in front of the audience, they're very to themselves. Um, so things like that can choleric. You have a choleric here. You have a phlegmatic. The phlegmatic is like very laid back. It's like, okay, let's watch a movie, very chill. And choleric would be like, why are you sitting down? You're wasting your time. So you see, those two are very, very different. And I'm just giving you brief examples, but this can actually create chaos in your environment when we don't know and when we don't identify and when we don't know, like, okay, is that person just being lazy? When once we know the template, say, okay, those people are phlegmatic. I need to learn how to keep myself calm and learn to work with them because they're good, because they have good strength, just like they're sympathetic and kind, they're consistent in life, they keep emotions hidden, and they're good listeners, compassion and concern. So those are good qualities. So every temperament has good strength and weakness. We just want to work on our weakness, identify and work in ourselves and be patient with others. This is important in ministry. Like I said, everywhere you go, but we're talking about ministry here. It's very important because this will help us work in areas where we can work and feel comfortable. So if you have a phlegmatic, and I'm just, it's four temperaments and melancholic too. But melancholic is also very organized. You see a lot of people that are accounting that works in the banks. Melancholic people are more than likely working in that area. But just sticking here with phlegmatic, an example would be, okay, would a phlegmatic, someone that's very relaxed, very to themselves, it's very shy, they won't be good in the front of church. They'll be very shy. So even as hosting in the doors, when you're in the front doors where you have to greet people, smile, or hi, is it your first time? And if it's not, hey, hi, brother, that not a conversation, but be willing to greet and smile. Phlegmatics are more to themselves. I don't think they would feel comfortable in that area of ministry. Maybe um, they can have awesome talents, talents in music, in playing an instrument, but the way they show up it's just very timid. and You can work with that temperament. You can put them in that ministry of music. However, it takes more work than putting a choleric, because a choleric's like, okay, let's get this done. I'm ready. Let's get it over with. Or melancholic, okay, super organized, like it's gonna happen no matter what. I mean, you have to smile, and we can kind of say things that can hurt someone. So that's why it's very important. Again, I emphasize it's very important to learn our temperament. Once we learn and work on it, we can get better in Mm, in reading, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna use that term in reading other people's temperament because it's very helpful. Not because you want to be pinpointing or being a little bit crazy about it, but it's very helpful. You can understand. And also, since this class is about leadership, it helps us. Okay, let me work with this person. This person can work perfectly in this area. This person has a little bit of trouble with time management because phlegmatic people or choleric can have a little bit of hard time getting on time to certain places. So, okay, a melancholic person can work with those people and teach them. They become very teachable. So it's very important, like I said, the temperaments. So I'm gonna be sending you. I only have it in Spanish. I already sent them an emails asking them for the test in English. Either they're gonna send it to me or they're gonna send it directly to you, Victor. You're gonna go ahead and do the test. Like I said, this is the test. And once you get your score at the last page, I mean, I don't think you can clearly say, but it's gonna give you A, B, C, and D, like are you sanguine, choleric, melancholic, and phlegmatic? You can go ahead and scan that and send it to me. That's gonna be your homework. And just a brief description of why do you consider that to be true? Because sometimes we don't identify it, like no. And that's why it's very important. I always ask the people that are doing the test, always ask the person that you see that lives with you. In this case, your wife. Your wife knows you better. So there might be two areas. I think I'm both of them. That's when you want to ask your wife, okay, what do you think? And your wife can probably answer that better than yourself, and from there you go on. Okay, so that's gonna be your homework, and that's practically today's class. Like I said, this is more of a dynamic class and work in class, hands-on in class. But since it's a Zoom class, then I'm gonna ask you just to do the test. And again, this is the book. If you are interested in purchasing it, you can get it in Amazon. Really good book. Totally recommend to you. And again, it gives you a better description of the temperaments. Like it gives you like 3 pages explaining exactly what your temperament and your personality. That's why it's called personality plus how to understand others by understanding yourself. It's learning ourselves to be a better leader and to lead in ministry and to lead in our work area, to lead our family, to lead our life. Okay. And one thing very important, um, either one of your children's, if you can observe your baby already, you can start seeing like, oh, she does her temperaments more similar like mine or more similar like my wife. you can start seeing it starts like developing. As they start growing, you start seeing by 2 years old, that's when it's gonna be more it's easier for you to identify, okay, she's like more like my wife. Why? Because it is in our genes. And like I said, we are born with it. Um, but again, we can modify it, strength, our weaknesses, and work on them, which is that's the whole purpose. So, well, I hope you have a good afternoon. This is it for today's class. If you have any questions, just please feel free to send me a message and we can work with it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.